All right. Well, back here, the head of the National Security Agency is now saying that the damage to the U.S. intel community by fugitive leaker Edward Snowden is, quote, irresponsible and irreversible, in his opinion. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is streaming live in Aspen, Colorado. Hello, Catherine.
Well, thank you, Martha, and good morning. On the second day of the Aspen Security Forum, the director of the NSA, General Keith Alexander, said the damage is irreversible, and he said there's now concrete evidence that terrorist groups have begun to change their strategy because, in effect, the NSA leaks have provided a roadmap to the U.S. surveillance strategy.
What we're doing is we're telling them, here's our playbook, here's how we're stopping you. Perhaps if you tried a different method, you'd be successful. And that's just plain crazy. What we're doing is irresponsible in this area. And I think it's significant and irreversible damage to our nation.
We also learned new information about the NSA leaker Edward Snowden. In addition to being a systems administrator, General Alexander confirmed that one of his jobs was to move sweeping amounts of data in between the networks to facilitate information sharing. And Martha, that helps explain how Edward Snowden had so much access to classified information that really touched every element of the intelligence community, Martha.
Yeah, boy. So how did they defend these programs then, Catherine?
Well, one of the key headlines, and we had this from one of the former directors of national intelligence, Dennis Blair, is that back in 2009, the NSA went to the telecoms inside the United States and asked them if they would hold the phone logs of American citizens, what's often referred to as the metadata, and the telecoms refused, and that left the NSA and the U.S. government in the position of holding the bag on the records, one of the most controversial elements of the domestic surveillance programs. And General Alexander said that these programs need to be secret because when you look at the foreign threat overseas, what you find is that there are a number of threads that always come back inside the domestic United States.
The purpose of these programs and the reason we use secrecy is not to hide it from the American people, not to hide it from you, but to hide it from those who walk among you who are trying to kill you.
What we heard increasingly from critics here at the security conference is that the NSA programs seem to show a lack of efficiency, and they point specifically to the Boston Marathon bombing, Martha.
All right, interesting.